The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
It's time. It's time for
coffee time.
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 And here is your coffee time crew.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Coffee Time with Blind United. I am your host, Brittany, and today we have a special guest from Carrie On Accessibility, and we also have Pedro and Carol. So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Like my brother George would say, hump the ones next to you. Hump the ones you love.
Consensually, of course.
Yes.
But we have three interest groups today. We have Deborah Erickson with her The Blind Kitchen, and we're going to be talking about food preparation in the new year. So that's always a very enlightening class. Deborah Erickson is a chef, so come and join us at 2:00 PlayStation time. That's Pacific Standard Time. And then at 5:00 we have AI with Pedro Aguilera, and at 6:00 we also have technology with Pedro Aguilera. So come on and hang out with us. And if you'd like to be a part of the interest groups, you can always email us at info@blindunited.org, and we'll put you on the mailing list.
Yes. And today we're covering on the AI class. We're gonna be going around the table and seeing where's everybody's progress, if they got signed up, if they actually created their first prompt and sent that out, and see what type of results they have gathered for the iPhone accessibility class. We're gonna go over to see if everybody's on the latest update to make sure everybody has up to date, have the latest securities. Also, we're going to talk about the plans of the new year, what topics people may want me to cover and go in depth with, because sometimes we do have beginners and we have intermediates and advanced users also. So come join us tonight. Sounds like a busy day in my schedule, but come join us tonight. Back to you, Britt.
All right. So we're going to start this interview. So can you tell us a little bit about Carrie On Accessibility?
Hey everyone. First of all, thanks for inviting me here. Sounds like a lot of fun, and I have my coffee right next to me. So Carrie On Accessibility, that's my channel, that's my presence on social media. I am mostly a YouTuber, but I'm also on Instagram, TikTok, Mastodon, Blue Sky, X, Threads. I dip my toes into a lot of different platforms, but I create videos on tech and accessibility. I really like to capture the experience of what it's like to use the technology, and just try new things out.
Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about your story, your background, and the reason you're visually impaired? You could start with that a little bit too.
Sure, absolutely. So I have something called Aniridia syndrome. That's the lack or underdevelopment of the iris, and that's something that is genetic in my family. So my dad is blind, my sister is visually impaired. I am also visually impaired, and I also have glaucoma, cataracts, nystagmus. I grew up with a deaf brother, and our grandma, who's passed now, but she was also totally blind and basically, my mom was our eyes and ears and our driver when I was young. And yeah, my dad was always into technology, so that's kind of where my love for tech really started. Then I went to school, was one of the only blind low vision people in the whole school district aside from my sister, but she was like 7 grades ahead of me. So then I ended up working at a low vision center, and it was part of IFB Solutions, which is an
Hmm.
organization where they have a lot of um, blind or visually impaired employees, and we had all sorts of people come into the store, try out different technologies, CCTVs, the Victor Reader, all sorts of stuff. And that's, I would say, probably where I really started being very interested in everything. I'd push every
Hmm.
button, try everything out. And yeah, that
Okay.
started.
Okay. Okay. So just to stay on in this little topic
Mhm.
and you growing up as a blind student and things like that.
Yeah.
How was the experience? Did you win a public or private school by any chance?
I went to public school.
Okay, yeah, because we have strong opinions of the public school sometimes when it comes to blind individuals. How was your experience as being a blind student? And that's completely blind or high or low partial by any chance? Sorry.
Uh, I don't know which I feel like that I'm too blind to be called high partial, but maybe too much sight to be called low partial. I don't know exactly. Technically, my vision is like 2,800 in one eye, and the other one is just light in colors. I use both a screen magnifier and a screen reader. And when I was younger in school, I'm definitely happy that I went to a mainstream school. It really prepared me for, like, life, I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
but it was also isolating at the same time. So there were pros and cons in both directions. I had, like, aides who would come and, like, follow me around. That part I didn't really like.
The old
I
ball and
yeah.
chain.
Oh, yeah, yes, yes. I got in trouble one time, or well, maybe it was more than one time because I would run away from them. Um, and yeah, I had the ginormous CCTV that would be rolled around in the cart, and everybody would want to stick their fingers under it. You know the deal.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I remember those days. Look, my nails are dirty.
Hey, they're so
Ooh.
gross. Isn't that so gross? Let's look at yours.
Oh wow. Okay, okay. Yeah, because our own Brittany, she's been visually impaired like her whole life. So she's gone through the
Mm,
system too in college and transitional periods between college and high school. You know what I mean?
mhm.
There are difficult times that students figure out that sometimes some materials might not be there
Mm,
when they
I
get to
definitely.
know. I feel
college.
so seen right now. I'm just like, I remember lugging a CCTV around everywhere and people thinking it
Yes.
was so cool, or people being like, wow, your computer talks. Can I
It
press buttons? All that.
Yes, yes, but, like, one part of having a CCTV that I hated was it would be facing the whole classroom, so everybody could see what I'm, like, writing in my paper. I'm like, "Stop looking here." I wanted to turn the whole thing around.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So writing a secret crush letter was out the question for anyone that's blind and has a CCTV, guys.
Well, I
But
wouldn't say that, but yeah, it was harder.
it was harder. And
We won't get into that today, though.
yeah, that's a whole other subject. That's true. Um, and transition into to college by any chance was it difficult with the materials and obtaining certain services?
Actually, where I was, and it was in New Jersey, they gave
Okay.
me everything. I was very blessed to be there, and
Hmm.
my TVI teacher for the visually impaired, she helped me like immensely with everything. I had a monitor, 24-inch monitor in my dorm room. I had a printer. I had like a laptop too. I had like a CCT. I had like pretty much everything that I needed. What was hard is definitely the material, because the professors don't always make those accessible,
Hmm.
or whatever online platform isn't accessible,
Hmm.
and all that, et cetera, that was probably the most frustrating for me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get that from a lot of college students and people that are in the educational system, even that work for the educational system. Some of their portals and some of the platforms they use for grading and other things like that are depends
Mm.
on the screen reader, I guess. I know for some Macs, sometimes it was difficult to see the website. Now
Yes.
I believe with
Yes.
the
Pearson,
updated features. Hmm.
my math lab in my day, oh my goodness, that was an absolute nightmare. Okay. But I could probably complain about Pearson for a long time, so we'll keep going.
Oh, so could I. I hate my math lab. I just, oh, girl, don't talk about that. Mm-mm.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. And back then they didn't have the math language that JAWS comes with it now. Um there I think it was what, a year ago or two, that they integrated math equations so they could be more understandable with screen reader with I mean JAWS, excuse me. I use so many screen readers, guys. I'm over here jumping back in names. With JAWS. So that's pretty nice too. Yeah, so the material part is hard with college students and other like that. I know you also said that you worked before and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
I don't know if that ties with if you had some difficulties or stories from that sector of you working and like that. If you want to enlighten us, or we could continue moving on.
Well, I really enjoyed my time there. So there were a lot of people who are blind and visually impaired. So they were very familiar with accommodations, accessibility, oh,
Hmm.
Great Plains isn't accessible. That's one of the tools we used. They actually took them a very long time, but they ended up making like a more accessible software for point of sale, all this stuff. Um, and I think like my favorite, honestly, my favorite moments working there were actually not in the office, but we would go. We had a mobile clinic, so there was like a eye exam room in this trailer, and I and the low vision specialist, we went like to different towns in
Hmm.
um, North Carolina and gave eye exams for free. Well, some of them were for free, and some of them were very low cost. And that was probably my favorite time because I got to pick out all the tech that I could also bring with me and show people what was available and what they could
Mm.
do.
Hey,
So
hey, that's a plus right there. You're like,
yes, that was a
candy. You're in a
lot of
candy
fun.
store.
Yes, yes, and I got to give it out or sell it or whatever. It was fun. It was
I bet you
absolute
you
lot
was
of
like, let me try it out first.
fun. Oh my
Like a
goodness,
techie to techie.
when I had a distributor come with a new product, oh, I was just on cloud nine. I was like, "Oh, let me see, let me show me everything."
Yeah, yeah. And for our viewers, name some of these products. 'Cause, man, we have so many different products in the blind community, varying, and since you're a low vision specialist, you could probably name a couple of products for our low vision
Oh my
people
goodness,
that.
that was many years ago. A lot of the stuff that I saw in like person and like was excited over is
Hmm.
like so old news right now. So the Ruby, when the Ruby 10 came out and the 8, those were like brand new at the time. There was the what's the human wear one?
The
I
Browser.
Prodigy,
Mm,
like when that came out, the Da Vinci, when that like first
yeah.
came out, like I was there when those all of those first came out, when the
Mm-hmm.
Was it the Victor Reader 2 when that came out? That was like a
Ooh, that's
big thing.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like so when Fusion came out, everybody was like really excited over that. I tried it, and when it first came out, it was a disaster. But I hear that it's in a lot better place now. So
That's what
that's
I hear too.
yeah, yeah.
But I do hear people trying to use Fusion and screen readers, and I don't know. I get mixed reactions from different people because I'm completely blind,
Mm, mhm,
so I don't
yeah.
use Fusion.
Yeah, so my favorite combination would have to be just Windows magnification and then
Hmm.
NVDA. Or well, JAWS works too, but
NVDA is more streamlined. It's faster.
it's I wouldn't necessarily say that exactly. Um but it's just more responsive to screen magnification. If you're moving
Okay.
around with the mouse, if you click on an edit field and you use like the mouse to do that, NVDA will like go in forms mode. It's great. Like sometimes with JAWS, and when you go into forms mode, if you click on it, it doesn't like register for some reason, which is really annoying. And you have to like click it again or press space or whatnot.
Hmm.
But the only really nice thing about like JAWS is you can adjust the mouse echo. So like if you put your mouse over something, it can read it to you, and you can make it so that it's like delayed. Instead of like NVDA, it's either on or off. So that's really helpful.
Oh, the customizable feature of it. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And these are for the low or high partial people. That's pretty nice feature. Have you ever used the Picture Smart feature within JAWS by any chance?
I've seen it demonstrated. I used it once, and then I keep meaning to experiment with it, but there's just so many other tech that I'm like just playing with right now.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned
Yeah.
your father was into tech and uh that he
Yeah, when
also
I was
was
younger.
yeah, he was also visually impaired. So you come from people that had experience and you were brought up more into how some people that are blind have been sheltered a little too much sometimes.
Mm,
So you
y
got
yes.
the good experience of being out in the world and having to task yourself of overcoming certain hurdles and barriers within the education, within the working sectors, and other things like that. And what drew you into putting your love of technology and then getting on social media before you put Carrie On Accessibility all together? What was the leading point, the leading what is the word I'm looking for? What guided you to that direction?
Oh gosh, I started managing some of the social media for our low vision center. And I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if we could make videos on some of this technology? Wouldn't that bring more customers? Blah, blah, blah. I talked to my manager. She was on board. But marketing did not like that idea. I guess they didn't trust what I was like 18, 19, 20. I don't remember year old like with
Hmm.
doing such a thing. Which I mean, granted, I do understand their point of view, which is actually better in the long run because when I got pregnant and had my son, I decided to stay home. And I'm like, well, since I'm home and my son is finally sleeping through the night, I might as well like look into this whole YouTube thing. I started like watching Sam Seavey from The Blind Life. That's when he like around the time where he started growing his channel, and I'm like, oh, I could talk about some of this too. And so I started just submerging myself, immersing myself in like a bunch of like how to start your YouTube channel content. And
Hmm.
I started like just trying to figure out what in the world is a video editor. I had absolutely no training, no knowledge in any of this stuff. I didn't know what I was doing. I've never been on camera. Well, like for myself, and I've never made a production or any of those things. So I was figuring it out as I went along. And I really wanted to continue talking about tech and talking and telling people what they could or couldn't do, because I don't consider myself an expert. I am far from an expert in tech, but I know enough to be dangerous, I would say. Um, and definitely more than people who are just beginning their sight loss journey, or people who are just starting to explore technology. And I want to kind of be that kind of starting point. Okay, here's some information. Now go, you can take this information and dive deeper into whatever you want. Um, and that's really, I wanted to continue like sharing some of what I knew, like what I was doing at the center, even if I was at home. And YouTube, social media was that avenue.
Okay, okay. And yes, you mentioned a couple of blind channels. So shout out to them. Shout out to Sam. Um, so that pushed you into exploring what was a video editor. And you being a low partial, I know you're able to see some and magnify. For me being completely blind, certain video editors are not accessible to me. I know certain cameras that I need to use that help me position myself as a blind content creator, center myself on the screen and other things like that. I have to
Mm.
do certain techniques. George, thank you. You're on stage also. But Britt, any comments, any questions for our guest on the comment
Um,
section?
we do. We have a few people said good morning. So good morning to the people that said good morning. And Katie said that there's something wrong with the audio, but no one else has complained about it. And I know George normally checks that side of it, so I don't know.
George?
Yes, good morning, good afternoon. Sorry, being technical problems. I tell you what, Google decided to say bye bye to all my bookmarks. So, hi, Miss Morales, how you doing, ma'am?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, I'm the one initially reached out to you and your channel. Um, I find it very creative, very productive. Its content is very well done. I like to. I'm really into audio. I'm like Mr. Pedro. I'm totally blind.
Mhm.
So my thing is always about these different channels, but the audio is really bad. But yours is really
Really?
good. Matter of fact, I don't know if you remember, but you told me that secret of how to record the meta.
Yes, yes. It's not
Yeah.
a secret. I'll tell anybody. It's so surprising to me that you say my audio is good, because I'm like struggling with that. I'm not an audio person, and I'm just like, oh well, I think that's good enough. Like, yeah.
No, but your audio is real clean, it's real rich, and the thing is that and it was the content that you had. And I do subscribe to your channel. Um, I know you had a giveaway fairly recently, right?
Yes. Mhm.
For the I think for the year, but um, and you're I don't know if Pedro touched on this, but you're mostly into Android, right?
I daily drive an Android, but I do have an iPhone. I have an iPad. I have a MacBook Air.
She says it like,
Right.
should I really put it out there? Don't be ashamed. It's okay. I got a Windows and a Mac, and I jump back and forth. I have
Yeah.
a iPhone. Sometimes I drop that. I'm like, I need to jump on this device. I need to jump on because they
Mm.
all
Mm.
differ and they all have their plus.
And the
Yes, I
audio is
got.
good, guys. The audio is running real good.
I
Okay,
have
thank you.
the MacBook Air. I bought it last year in the end, when the new MacBook Air came out, whenever that
Uh,
was,
yeah.
and I used it twice. There
Oh
you go.
wow.
That's why that's why I say
But
it
for
that
the
way.
creating, like for video editing and producing audio, because I mix and I do those stuff.
Mm.
But
Mac is my go-to. I'm able to get my video into my Mac, separate my audio, dump it into Logic, do what I need to
Mm.
do with making it sound better, dump it back into the video, go into the video editor, start chopping up what I need to chop up.
Yeah, I just need to spend time with it. I just have to set this time aside. It's just I have other things to do.
But I did want to mention this, and the reason I want to mention this because here where I live in Texas, I'm a
Mhm.
technology assistive technology trainer with the state, and a lot of misnomers or misconceptions about the Android portion, which is TalkBack. And yes, there are some, in my opinion, some differences between, especially the gestures between VoiceOver and TalkBack. But I've seen that it is achievable with TalkBack, right? Especially now, let me ask you this, Ms. Morales: do you see the difference, or how can I say this? There's going to be a difference in your experience depending on the type of phone you have. With let's say from a Pixel to maybe a low end Samsung. Is there a huge difference between?
Absolutely.
There is, right? That's what I thought.
Absolutely. I've gotten a lot of people who came in to and say that they have a budget Android. It was probably free with their carrier, whatnot, and talkback is just absolutely extremely frustrating. Let's just leave it at that.
So since you got the Galaxy, that means you have their, I forgot what they're called, their screen reader, right? They have their accessibility features also, right?
They used to have the I can't remember what they used to call it, but they have TalkBack now. But it's Samsung's version of TalkBack. I
Y-
have a Galaxy S22 Ultra, but I also have a Pixel 9 Pro XL.
Yes.
Um, yeah, so I have both. Right now I'm on the 9 Pro XL, but I'm planning to get the S25 when that comes out.
Yeah,
Is
yeah, they're
that for a
pretty
while?
slick. They're pretty, I like how they feel. Also,
Mhm.
another thing that I noticed that you could do a loader and stuff like a bootloader, but you could also, I know when Samsung have their screen reader, I forgot what they called the tool, but they had their screen reader, so you were able to have TalkBack and Samsung's screen reader, and this, you could
Yeah, I
jump
have
back and
both
forth.
versions of TalkBack, the Samsung version of TalkBack and Google's version of TalkBack on my
Hmm.
Samsung. And depends on there's certain places where one works better than the other.
Hmm.
And yeah, so the nice
I'm
thing
a,
about the Google one is it has all the newest features. Yeah.
I was going to ask you. I know, Mr. Pedro. I do apologize, Pedro, for coming in late. This, like I said, my Google just decided to take another. I put my bookmarks for the link, and they went bye this morning. But anyways, let me ask you a question. I don't know if Pedro asked you this. Was there what? How did you start, or why did you start your channel? Because I find your content very useful. So I'm like, And there's different reasons why
We
why you
did got
started.
into that, George.
Okay.
We're actually now we were going into before I cut to this break that's coming up, we're going now into her channel, the Carry On Accessibility and what she offers and her new content that she got going. I was gonna get into the giveaway she did and things like that.
You know why? Just real fast, you're the name Carry On Accessibility. I'm like, that's a cool name. I figured that was your name.
Yeah, 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 and it's Carry On
Yeah, yeah. And
Accessibility.
I thought
Hey,
that
that
that's
was
a
a nice.
cool.
Yeah,
And you
that
know
was very
how
much
we
intended.
yeah, you know how we
Um,
use screeners, right? So
mhm.
I kept typing in CarryOn.
uh
I'm like, it's not coming up. Like,
Sorry about
anyways,
that.
yes,
Yeah. That's actually my second channel. This is I actually started with another channel when it first started on social media. It was Live Accessible, but I think Carry On Accessibility. I like that better, and the pun is definitely intended.
I tried the
Okay.
TikTok yesterday, Pedro. I'm not sure if you're
Mhm.
on there, man, but it's kind of hard for myself for the use of voiceover. I tried it yesterday, and I don't know, kind
Yes,
of
yeah.
frustrating.
I contacted them before, so I don't know. We have to do a group effort. Sometimes it takes a group effort, but yes, it's doable, George. But when you want to navigate your timeline, I'll actually turn my voiceover off, and I know how to navigate it. And usually it's pretty easy. It's just scroll down to the next video. And now, when you get to something you're interested in, turn voiceover on, and remember to explore on the right side. You got your person's channel. If you want to follow, like, share, all that other good stuff,
Oh
and a
Lord, have
brief
mercy.
description.
Yeah.
So I have techniques, but I have to sometimes turn off my voiceover even when I go into someone's channel and when I navigate back. There's a
Mhm.
back button, but
Mhm.
without voiceover, I can navigate it slightly faster.
Oh
And
really?
yeah, sometimes I wanna. I want to keep moving. I don't want to slow down, even with voiceover. That's why I changed certain settings. I have my gestures customized to the gestures that I want. Like sometimes I have my gestures that I set up for using the iPhone with one hand. Sometimes I got my cane and I need to navigate my phone, get to the top, get to the bottom, and I have these gestures set up so I can jump to the top, jump to the bottom while
Well, that's the cool
navigating.
thing about the Android, right? I'm gonna call you first name, so I won't say your last name.
You can just
Sorry
say
about that.
Carrie.
It's a habit. um, the Mr. Pedro talks about a lot about this the gestures, right? And I like the cool thing about Android, you customize the gestures. Well, some of them, not all of them, right? But
Most of them.
On
yeah,
both systems, on both systems, yeah.
Yeah, you can do that on iOS too.
Yeah.
no. But what I'm saying is, for example, if you like, let's say for one thing is like swipe left and up, you do one thing, and then you swipe down and circle, you turn around 5 times, and not really.
Oh, he's talking about like the rotor when you swipe left, when you
The
swipe
angle
down left,
gestures, yeah.
The
swipe
angle
up
gestures. There you
right.
go.
Angle
Yeah.
gestures.
Yeah.
Angle gestures. There you go.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. That's kind of more. But anyway, I'll let you go to break there, Mr. Pedro. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I will go to a quick commercial break, guys, and we will be back.
Hustlin' jingles, $10 a shot. Birthday beats and holiday knocks. Gotcha covered for the ones you love. Personalized joy like a custom glove. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford. Got a catchy tune for your babe. Poppin' beats like dreams we crave. For Mama's Day or Papa's cheer, let's make smiles from ear to ear. Get your jingle hot and fresh. Info at blindunited.org. $10 only, no more, no less. We make memories you can't afford.
Do you need to talk? Are you struggling with your mental health? Are you struggling with substance abuse issues? Call the Orange County NAMI Warm Line. That number is 877-910-9276. That number again is 877-910-9276.
All right, guys, and we're back. You're back on stage, Brittany, too. And we're here back on with Carrie On Accessibility, and she's here telling us about her channel, guys. So, Carrie, I wanted to get a little bit of when you started posting your first video. How nerve-wracking was that?
Gosh, that was like on my first channel. Oh my goodness, I cringe every time I go back and I watch it or see part of it. I'm like, oh my goodness, I should take this down off of YouTube. And yet, like, there's still a lot of people who even to this day comment or watch it, and I'm just like, oh well, if it's helpful for someone, I guess I'll leave it up there. I need to make updated videos, but that was very I did not know what I was doing at all. If you listen to it and you listen to me today, it's completely two different people.
Even what I did one time, because I do a lot of my content live, and so I'm doing my little podcast, and it's about something real passionate. And a friend kept calling me, kept calling me, kept calling me. I'm like, why is he calling me during a live? So I put everything on mute, and I asked him, like, what? She goes, bro, your mic is muted. I'm like, oh crap. All
Wow.
right, cool. All right, I'm sorry
Wow,
about that.
George. Wow. Yes, yes. Also, as a fellow content creator, I done my mistakes. I gone look back at my videos and I'm like, cringe, cringe.
Mhm,
But
mhm.
with the more video and content you do, or the more live streaming you do, the more refined your content becomes. And I see your content mostly concentrates on accessibility and tech. And I was running to different videos. So you have different videos showcasing showcasing different features of Androids and other even application and useful tips. So well, after a year, it becomes easy, right? You get into your groove.
Definitely, after a while. When I first started my second channel, it was a lot easier since I had a lot of practice in my first channel, but it's still really nerve-wracking. I actually prefer being able to edit because when I make a mistake, I'm like, I can blot that out of
Mm,
existence. Let's remove that.
yes,
When
yes,
it's live like this, I'm like, oh no, I have to really think about what I'm saying.
yes, and that always comes with the territory. Yes,
Hmm.
when you're doing videos, you get
Yes.
to go back and edit, and and it is work. It's time consuming also. So it's not even doing the research, even trying to get some stuff together. It could be a
Yes.
little time consuming. Sometimes you might have to do 2 or 3 takes on a video.
Mm.
Sometimes I have the problem when a video got deleted. So I had to do the whole thing, and I already had a few hours editing,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
you know.
yeah, yeah.
And
Or
so
sometimes you forget and you
mhm.
move the video somewhere else because 'cause you're organizing, and then you're like, "Where did my video go?" And then you have to I've recorded it over, and then I find the file later, I'm just like, "Oh my goodness."
Yes, yes. So do we do as visually impaired? Well, I there's a term for us. I seen it. Low vision, blind content creators. I forgot the abbreviation to it. I seen it somewhere. You know. But yeah, tell us now with Carry On Accessibility. Um, what is the mission, and what are you focusing mostly on this upcoming new year? Well, finishes. You could start with letting us know how you finished off 2024, because I know you had a lot of things going on, and coming into the new year also.
Oh, yeah, so, I actually did a kind of Koa recap, Koa wrapped. Koa is just the shortened version of Carry On Accessibility. And I've looked at all my kind of analytics. That's looked at like some of the videos that I forgot that I've done. So like I looked, oh, I did the Vision Pro. That was 2024. It felt like so long ago. I talked about, oh, is that Rabbit R1 accessible? Like the Stellar Trek, the Victor
Hmm.
Reader Stream. I but I really enjoyed, like, the Meta glasses. Those are probably the best ones. I recently did a giveaway on something called PickyBot or PixieBot, however you wanna pronounce
Pixibot.
it.
There
Mm,
you go. We interviewed
mhm.
the CEO.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, and we're gonna
Um,
catch up on the Ray-Ban soon. Um, I wanted you intrigued me with the with the Apple the reality headset. Oh my God, I'm blanking on the name. The Vision Pro.
the Vision Pro.
Yeah, the Vision Pro. I remember
No.
seeing your video, and I would like to know your experience on this expensive technology here, as being someone from our community.
In just a few words,
Hmm.
not for me and probably not for most of us. It's
Okay, that
yeah.
that leads me into the simplicity of the Ray-Ban Meta glasses. And
Um, yeah, so that would have if we're just going to abbreviate here, it's a great device, does a lot of things, it's really cool, but it's not perfect. There you go. It could
exactly,
use a lot
exactly.
of improvement still.
Yes, I feel like they're missing features. They're missing some improvements also. You
That's
know,
why I'm really excited about the Echo Visions, which is
yes, yes, I see these around, and let's discuss a little bit of the Echo
Mhm.
Visions. I know it's like a sourcing thing they're doing, or
And
um,
no, it's a company. I actually had an interview with Agiga, which is a company that is creating it, and It's similar in some ways to the Meta glasses, except that, it doesn't have the limitations in the AI, or that's what they're going for. Because right now, the Meta glasses, I ask, oh, what store is that? Or what product is this? And I can't tell you about products, or it
Mm,
can't tell you about
I get that.
people. Yeah,
Hmm.
it can't tell you about health related things, even if it's not health related.
Hmm.
It errs on the side of caution, which I slightly understand, but it's a very frustrating. So the Echo Visions is supposed to kind of mitigate that, and there's a button. An extra button that it'll have, unlike the Meta Glass, where it'll immediately snap a picture and describe, and then you can ask follow-up questions. Yeah, so it's
Okay.
still under development, and it's supposed to
Hmm.
come out later this year. And yeah, if you want to learn more, you can watch the interview I had with them from my on my podcast.
Yes, yes. That do sound promising. I'm wondering, do they record video? Are they able to capture pictures to share? Do they
Yes.
do a little extra? They do. Okay.
They mentioned that they can record video and take pictures.
Okay, okay. Now I need to know the quality in the megapixels and all that, but that's later on. And I won't bother you with that. Maybe if I have a chance to interview the creator, that'd be dope because I like to get into some of the bare bones. I would like to know what type of AI is using, and things like that. Also about other things, but it is a great product coming in at a affordable level, I would say.
Hmm.
Compared to the Envision, that are coming up in the whopping price range of over 2,000 or
Hmm.
$4,000.
Yes,
Um,
absolutely.
and and maybe even what I was hearing from the post and some of the things I read on their website, they're gonna come try to be styled, not like in vision glasses. You got one of the legs and your ears super chunky, like it got beat up, and the other one's all thin, like
Hmm.
it's missing food or something. But
Yeah. What I'm most excited about, and I actually asked them on the podcast, and this is something that I
hmm
kind of struggle with my Meta glasses because it doesn't transition enough. I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if it could be clear, right? So that you can use it inside, but you can have like clip ons. And so right now they're developing, hopefully, working on it, seeing if it's feasible or whatnot. So I have no promises, but they're working on maybe having magnetic clip-ons so that you can have it like as a sunglasses when you need it, which I would
Mm,
absolutely love. And they're
that's
working on
interesting.
different tints and everything
Yeah,
for
that
the
even
glasses. So.
even even a little different style change too.
Mhm. Mhm.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yes.
Yes, with the metals, with the technology they use with the uh, plastic uh, transitional lenses, it does take time and all that. But if you wanted to get it upgraded with the lenses that actually go dark
Yes.
faster, it was a extra charge for that.
Mm. But it also, like the ones that it comes with, it
Hmm.
doesn't transition in the shade or in the car. So that was a problem for me.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
wow, wow.
Mhm.
I actually got mine the darkest I could. I can't see nothing. But people could still see my eyes
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
things like that. But
Yeah.
getting a little more on the Meta Ray Bans, because I know we have a lot of people in our community interested in these glasses. Um for content creating, have you utilized the glasses?
I've used it to record some B-roll. Um, I haven't really used it all that much for content creating, honestly.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Mhm. Mhm. I mean, I unless it's about the Meta glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 and I could kind of see that because you're a YouTube girl, a YouTube content creator. Myself also, that was my first critique of the glasses was that they make it so easy for you to share to Instagram, WhatsApp, Messenger,
Mhm.
and Facebook, but when it comes down to trying to share to YouTube, you have to export your video to your camera roll. You
Mhm.
have to do
Mhm.
extra stuff.
Yeah, well, it's a meta device, so they
Yes,
want to make sure it works with that.
that is true. That is true. So, with these new glasses that coming for the blind folks in our community that we were just talking about, I I would like to see more products that are made for blind folks to have basic features, like, for example, the recording video, having the AI, having
Mhm.
to share the video, because as blind persons, we get a device and this is all it does. Here's your
Yes, yes.
glasses, and they only have AI, they only read. Can we record and send that to my family or to my sister? No, you can't do that. You need something else for that. And
Mhm.
I feel
Mhm.
like here is a device just for a blind person. You're not extra. You're not a they see us like we're, well, in my opinion, they see us that here's a blind person. They don't do extra, but they forget that we're all people. We're all human. We all like to interact. We all
Mhm.
have something more than just our blindness. And
Exactly.
sometimes they need to provide some basic features, some standard features
Mhm.
to some of these devices.
That's why I'm so hopeful for the Echo Visions. So
Yes.
I made my pre-order, and it's refundable, returnable, and so I don't want to celebrate before it comes out or anything, but I am definitely hopeful for
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Hey, and I can't wait to see a video you do on those, because those sound promising
yeah,
too,
yeah.
you know,
Hmm.
and maybe a comparison video. I know they're slightly two different type of products,
Hmm.
but maybe on the functionality and the ease of use, sounds like a great video right there. Have
Hmm.
you heard of the Glide by any chance? I know you covered
Yes.
tech.
The Glide, I did an interview with Amos Miller, the founder of Glidance. So
Yes.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay, okay. Does it seem? I know you are low partial. I don't know how much you
I
may
use a
use.
K all the
Okay,
time. Yeah.
okay,
Hmm.
all the time. That's what I like to
Yes.
hear.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be safe. Um, but the tech in there, does it spark anything to you? What do you think? What's your opinion on it? I know you might not use it, or you might be curious about it, and anything that you have uh, a little bit opinion on this upcoming navigational device.
It's interesting. It's definitely interesting. I like the tech aspect of it, but will I probably use it? I don't think so. I kind of like the fact that with like the cane, you can explore, this seems to be more like, oh, let's get you from point A to point B without running into obstacles. A little more similar to, let's say, a guide dog in that way. And
Hmm.
I kind of like, oh, what's over there? Oh, I like
Hmm.
exploring and just knowing more of the environment. So for me, I don't know if it's the product for me, but I would definitely want to try it out.
Yes, yes, and some I saw in some videos, some people were saying, "I'm not gonna have to be using my cane no more. I don't want, ain't gonna look like weird." But I feel like this is a new device. You're gonna look odd a little bit in the beginning. People are
Then
gonna
again,
wonder.
we're in
Hmm.
2024 with a million and one different kinds of robots everywhere. I feel like it's starting to,
Be normal.
society is starting to be a little bit more accepting, sort of.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a little bit,
A
because
little bit.
I jumped in one of these Waymo self-driving taxis,
Mhm.
and people keep telling me every time, they're like, "I can't do that. How are you jumping in these self-driving taxis?" I'm like, "Hey, I jumped into the self-driving taxis, and I try to see how much can I turn up the radio, because they give you control over the car a little bit. So, but that's where I noticed they put limitations on stuff. You can't go too
Mm.
loud. Plus, it's a Jag. Plus, in my mind, they keep telling me it's white. I keep picturing Coke white. I don't know why, but and we was in Hollywood, was in downtown Santa Monica, and people were taking pictures. I was feeling like a little movie star. I was like, man, I know they're taking pictures of the car, but I was like, and we got to talk to some of their representatives and things like that. I even told them, how much will you sell me this car? They said, we can't sell it to you. And I was like, man, you know,
Oh,
but
I cannot wait for the day that I can have a self-driving car right in my garage, right in my driveway, wherever, and just
mhm,
get up and go. Not have to call a Waymo or an Uber or something else. Just
yes.
like, oh, I want to go. Okay, I'm gonna go right now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And if I want to sit in my car and just sit in my car and be on my phone and work on my stuff, I can sit in my car. Like, you know how some people
Mm-hmm.
just park and just be in their car and stuff, doing stuff. I'm like, man, you
Yes.
know,
Yeah. Mm,
yeah, but that's
absolutely.
folks, that is in the frontiers. They're working on that. They're even working on flying cars. Um, Also, I don't know if you came up across, we also covered it in coffee time. Guide dog robots in malls.
Yes, I've seen them on YouTube. um, it's interesting.
Interesting concept, right? They
Yeah.
said that you
Yes.
could hold on to the leash or to the harness and control them by pulling on the harness, or you know.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting concept. Um, I would like to see how they look and stuff. I need to put my hands on them.
They don't look like dogs to me.
They don't
They
look
don't
like
look like
dogs.
dogs. Not really. In a very loose sense of the word dog, you know. They they have robot dogs now, like just not guide dogs, but that
Okay.
like look like more dog like, and they have fur and stuff, and that's kind of cool. And I'm like, okay, I you could sell me maybe like a guide dog like that. That would be kind
Okay.
of cool, but like
Hey, I want
I
my
don't
guide
know
dog
about
to be
this
jet
robot.
black.
Uh,
So I'm good with a metal body.
no, no, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Oh man, he has to be black on black. Oh man, but and shiny coat. Cause at night, oh my God! But it's in the mall, man. It's in the mall. So this type of technology, folks, it is coming to the forefront. We have technology
Mhm,
everywhere.
mhm.
Promising technology like the Echo Visions. Uh, I'm hoping for improvement on the Meta Ray Bans. I give them feedback, like just like I do on TikTok. I give them feedback on the about things they need to work on. I always tell you guys, when you find a problem, even if it's on Facebook, iPhone, TikTok, YouTube, write feedback. Let them know what's wrong. The more they know, and the more people letting them know what's going on and what's wrong with their platform, the more they be willing to fix some of these problems. I run around different different applications. I know Facebook sometimes works, sometimes it doesn't. Um, One of the things I find in some of these platforms is they work, but when they always bring a new feature, sometimes they drop the ball or when they update. But that aside, also, Carrie, I know we're coming to the top of the hour. Let the folks know your platform where you want them to go check you out and things like that, and upcoming plans for the new year and things like that, so folks can know what is your channel up to this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me on YouTube at Carrie, Carrie, on accessibility, or you can go on carryonaccessibility.com and find all my different social media on there as well. So this year I'm planning to, well, very soon, I'm planning to do a Meta Live AI video. So I just received early access for that. That's really exciting. I'm going to be doing more, just probably going back to some of the basics. So, features, accessibility features on Android or iOS that there are a lot of videos on that, but there have been so many updates in the past year or two that I feel like there could be update videos. And I just, we're going to watch the new tech as it comes out, and I'm planning to just try them out and see what that is like and share it with you guys. I like for me, it's always frustrating because especially when it comes to blindness or low vision related tech, you can't just walk into a Best Buy and try them out. Uh, sometimes if you have a center close by, or maybe a distributor might come to your house or something, but you can't like try it all out. And so that's where I really want to just give that sense of, oh, let's try this out together. What can it do? What can't it not do? That's what I try to convey on my channel. So yeah, I'm really excited for this new year. And
Okay.
again, thanks for having me on here. It's a lot of fun.
Yes, yes, and good luck to you and your channel. We wish you on growing and all that. It sounds interesting, different type of uh um updates and different yes, technology is always updating, so it's always good to do updated videos because it either they introduce a new feature within that feature and other things like that. And trying out technology is one of my peeps too. I'll be all over the place. And you
Hmm.
said which AI, Star AI or which
Uh,
AI you gonna
the
get access to?
Meta Live AI, which
Okay,
is it's a continuous video session with the AI, so it can see in video in more real time, like what's going
and
on
this
instead
is
of
what?
taking pictures.
Yeah, this is with the Meta, right?
Hmm. Yep.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, because I've been looking forward to that feature and things like that. So that sounds really great. Um, yeah,
And I'm
and
hoping that the Google Smart Glasses come out this year. If they do, I'm gonna be right there pre-ordering it.
yeah, yes, and I wonder those come with Gemini in installed in them.
I'm sure it has to.
It has to, because
It has.
they have to get a new device because Meta is taking some of that place right there.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and thank you for coming on. Also, thank you, George. Brittany, do we have any comments by any chance before we're
We
heading out?
do, we do. Tisha said good morning and she's planning on getting the Meta glasses. The Blind Kitchen said that she saw your earlier YouTube videos where you would cook with your son.
Uh,
So those are our comments.
Hey,
nice.
see, we have viewers. We have some of your viewers right here too. Um, but yeah. So that's pretty neat. That's pretty neat, guys. Also, thank you to the commenters. Let me check this. Okay, we got 3 minutes, guys. Carrie, you want to let them know well, is Carrie On Accessibility on YouTube? Uh, are you on Facebook by any chance?
I am also on Facebook. I will say YouTube is definitely the main place that I'm at. I'm a
Okay.
YouTuber at heart, but I also post like shorts. And recently for this year, one of my goals is to post on Mastodon, Blue Sky, X, and Thread. So, like, kind of that short
It,
form
yeah, it
post.
gets daunting. It
Yeah.
gets daunting, Carrie, with all these. Oh my God, it gets daunting.
Yes.
With that little laugh, I could tell you, you know what I'm talking about. It,
Exactly. I've actually been recently using something called Buffer. I've been using the
oh yeah.
free version, so you can like connect three different channels. And
Yes.
I made two free accounts. I don't know if you're
Yeah.
supposed to do that, but that's what I did. So I can post.
Yeah, I heard a buffer and I was taking a look at
Yeah.
it because I'm like, oh man, I'm posting on Meta, their
Mm,
platforms. I'm
yes. Yeah.
posting on YouTube and I'm posting on TikTok. And I'm trying to combine, but
Yeah. So
yes.
if you have those three things, if you can have three, then you can do it for free on Buffer
Okay.
if you choose three of them. Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out. And once again, everybody, that's Carry On Accessibility on YouTube. Check out her channel, give her a like, give her a subscribe. If you find her content uh um good and helpful, share her content, guys. Also, so also that's her community on YouTube. You do community posts and other interactions over there too, Carrie.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, guys. So once again, that's Carry On. Also, we have three interest groups. We got one at 2 p.m. with the Blind Kitchen. She's getting in healthy eating and uh, cooking tools and other like things like that. We have our AI for beginners. That one is going to consist of talking to our into our participants if or where they are and their sign up or in their prompting, beginning for prompting, if they have had a conversation with the AI, and that's at 5 p.m. PlayStation time, Pacific time, and at 6 we have our technology group with myself, and I will be covering some of the little updates we have got in the iPhone, have an open discussion for anyone that would like to ask questions, so I can cover different categories in different parts of the technology. This includes iPhone or Mac specifically. So once again, if you got that notification in your emails, come join us. And if you find the content helpful that we provide in Coffee Time, and you're on YouTube, Facebook, like, subscribe, share, guys. Also, give it up to Carrie. Thank you for coming on, Carrie. Thank you once
Thanks for
again.
having me.
Hmm.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Yes, thank you. To my co-host Carol, Brittany, George. Thank you for joining me. And from Blind United, guys, have a wonderful day, and we will see you soon. Catch you on the next one.